Welcome to an episode of Clutch Coalition, the show about movies, comics, and more. This is also the show that unironically loves April Fool's Day. I'm one of your hosts, Christian Bean, and with me is my co-host, King Fool himself, Mario Bennese.
That's me.
Yes, it is. Very proud of you. King
Yeah.
Fool. Just crowned yesterday.
Yep. That's me. I found out that I was essentially just born retired.
He's been complaining this entire day.
Well, I was
Just
talking.
complaining every 10 seconds. I'm like, dude!
Because I was on No Surprise, the Metallica forums, and there was like a thread. It's like, where are you from? And I'm like, well, I'm originally from like this small town. It's a retirement community. Then I moved to Boca, and that's just a bit like Snob Central. Somebody's like, oh, so you were born retired then? I'm like, damn straight. That's me. Born retired.
So I wanted to start for this show, call out the guy who's been tweeting us on Twitter. Cool, man.
Call out sounds
Yeah.
aggressive. Shout out.
Hey!
Hey, you
Appreciate it, man.
listening, stop that. Please
can't-
don't. You're the only one that writes in.
Appreciate you, man. Really nice of you. We
I've never been tweeted at before by an actual person.
should I start tweeting at you from now on?
Well, that's just kind of self-serving.
Isn't everything we do here self-serving? But no, in real talk, man, we appreciate you. You're the bomb. Keep doing you.
I was half expecting you to go to bomb.com.
And I'll be seeing him and anybody else in South Florida. I'm going to SuperCon Retro next weekend. So
I might
Be
try
there
to
Saturday.
go to that.
yeah, I'll be there Saturday. I'm just gonna hang out, see some comic books. You'll see me walking around.
Actually, yeah, next Saturday I should be able to go because I get paid that Friday.
Because I decided to go because I know my roommate wants to go, and Austin's like throwing around. I wanted to go to Star Wars Celebration, but like
That's a
it's
bit-
just so
yeah.
expensive,
I'd
and like
love
I
to
don't have
go,
I don't.
but
It's Star Wars Celebration or Persona 5. Sorry, Austin. Persona 5 comes first. Persona 5 comes first for me. I have to wait until tomorrow until I can finally buy it.
Persona 5.
I know. I'm really excited for that game. Well, guys, this episode of Clutter's Coalition is going to be a little bit of a special one. April Fools didn't fall on a day we usually post an episode, which,
Makes us the fools.
yeah. But instead, we decided that for fun, we would do an April Fool's kind of thing. So we're not doing a topic of the week. Instead, in the news, there's a series of fake news articles. I know which ones are fake, but Mario doesn't.
They kept me in the dark.
I kept them dark. So every time we do a news article, he's going to guess whether it's real or fake.
It's pretty much like a regular news thing. I don't look at these things before we record.
No, he doesn't. What's brilliant though is that the gentleman who does our scripts and basically helps us manage all of this, Austin, he was the one who found all of these. I only found a couple. I found a bunch, but not all of them I really liked. So I didn't believe he found ones that were real that were so ridiculous that I just couldn't, like, I looked at him and I brought him in, like, is that real? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, no. He's like, that's real. I'm like, no. He's like, yep. I'm like, why? So,
Why?
no, it's like, why? It's
Why
actually
are there
great.
so many ostriches?
It's actually pretty great. I'm
Why?
really excited. But first things first, me and Mario want to talk about some of our favorite April Fool's jokes that were played.
Yeah, that we were in on the joke for.
Yeah, we knew the joke. We thought it was hilarious.
So, for those of you that don't know, we go to Florida Atlantic University, and they decided to put up a video about how they were going to become a pet-friendly campus, where like you could actually bring like your horses and your pigs and stuff, and they could just chill with you on campus.
And if you watch the video, it's so fake.
Oh,
it's so incredibly
like they
fake.
got the president of the university in on it and everything.
It was funny,
and they're
though.
like, yeah, we're gonna install all these services for pets. You know, like cleanup services for like when they take a dump on our campus. Like little water fountains. We're gonna hire professional chefs to provide food for them. We're gonna hire a veterinarian. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your first problem. They don't even put any money into us. What makes you think they got the money to put into that? And so, okay, like the amount of people that fell for this is just absolutely baffling. Because, like, at the very end of the video, it says, go to such like this part of the FAU website and register your animal. The cutoff date is April 2nd. And people fell for this. People that work for the university fell for this.
No one told me about... Well, to be fair, it's our university. No one tells anyone anything.
April 2nd, and the fact that the FAU was actually going to put money into something. They've been working on the Breezeway for like a year and a half.
Breezeway is this
it's still not, yeah.
is this connecting thing to two different sides of the campus, which if
it's
you've ever
incredibly convenient.
No, it
Well, when you're walking from like where I live to the other side of campus at like 1 in the morning to get a sandwich.
It's convenient in the sense of everything you could probably need if you're like a second year.
Like kind of like a direct path.
It's a direct, yeah. Everything you if you're just starting up there, everything you need's kind of there. But the more
it's
you're
better
there,
at night.
yeah. But the more you're there, the less useful it is.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, the tables for my last foundations and stuff.
I've been like my last couple of years, and like it's so useless. It's just so useless now because all my classes are in one building.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of wish like if the buildings were set up differently, or the breezeway was like that one walkway that goes down.
Yeah.
That incorporated as well, I think it'd be more convenient. But that's just me.
But like the dead giveaway was the fact that FAU was going to put money into something that wasn't the sports team.
That wasn't the football field. This campus is like dying. It's like rotting everywhere. It's disgusting. But our football field looks great.
My building is flooded 3 times in a 1-month period. They do not put money into this place.
So
it's a dump.
One of my favorite, I think probably one of yours as well, is that Rick and Morty released the newest season 3 episode.
Yep.
On loop that entire day. Now I don't think that's the April Fool's joke. I think the April Fool's joke, that's only half the episode. Because remember them saying that the first episode is going to be an hour long.
Uh-huh.
Right? There's a bunch of things in this episode that strike me as weird. Like how easy everything comes to Rick. How everyone acts exactly the way Rick would expect them to act. How he's able to do all this stuff by himself. I think he's still in the brain thing. I think he's still there. Maybe. I think there was a trick made him think he could escape.
I mean, I enjoyed the episode.
I thought it was great. If it's the real episode, I do see the criticism of that there's no character development.
And they've been going for 2 seasons. We already know these characters.
Well, but characters develop through television series. Every season, all the characters develop slowly. All the development for Morty would have gone back a whole season. The thing with Jerry just kind of comes out of nowhere and is very uncharacteristically like Jerry and like Beth. So I don't know. I mean
that's been a long time coming though.
I don't think it would happen that way though. I think it would happen differently. I don't think it'd be that easy. It does not seem too easy. This is Rick and Morty.
But it's not completely out of the realms of possibility.
Also, knowing how Dan Harmon writes, this is not how Dan Harmon writes. It's just not. This is not how he usually frames an episode. So if this is the actual episode, it's a very weird offset for him because this is usually not how he puts this episode in.
Yeah.
So I think it's only the first half, and I hope it's only the first half because that's the case. That'd be great.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Phoenix person. That's the name we agreed on, huh?
I enjoyed it. I watched it like twice, like back to back, because it's just like you catch all the small details.
Like Doofus Rick being in Jerry's garage. Like when the garage is Jerry's garage, you see a little picture of Doofus Rick. Szechuan sauce. All the people who've never even tried it are like, we want it back. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is.
I kind of knew what it was because I know sometimes I get lost down the rabbit hole of watching old McDonald's promos.
Yeah, no, I know what it was. Like I've heard about the Mulan thing before, but I never tried it because I was like 3.
Yeah, like for some stupid reason, like McDonald's promos are like a comfort zone for me.
They're funny.
like the Happy Meal toys. I'm like, oh, I had that one.
But aside from that, it's still a good episode. It's just it would be
all the sci-fi goodness I wanted.
I would say it would be the lesser episode of all the seasons if that is the whole episode.
But like when you're talking about 9s and 10s, pretty much.
Yeah, and this would be a 7. This is a Mass Effect scenario. Yeah, this is 9s and 10s, and this is a 7.
I had fun with it though. I needed that.
Oh, I did too. You said you had another one you want to talk about?
Yeah, my ultimate favorite one. Okay. So for those who aren't as steeped in Superman knowledge as I am, there is a town, like an actual town called Metropolis. It's in Illinois. It's a
super cool town too.
It's where they have the Superman celebration every year. I think they're going to be going on like their 40th or 42nd annual Superman celebration, and they have a bunch of Superman stars come in. Like they have, I think Erica Durant's coming in.
Mario prays like 3 times a day in the general direction of Metropolis.
Pretty much, if being a Superman fan were a religion, going to Metropolis, Illinois would be like going to Mecca. Right?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go.
And so
It seems like a pretty chill town.
but they have this, like right in front of their town hall, they have a Superman statue.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Superman homepage posted an article, and they do this every year. They post fake articles because it's April Fool's Day. And the one that they posted this year, or one of the ones that they posted, was that the Superman statue was decapitated by a freak storm that just kind of flew through Metropolis. Now, upon seeing, I'm like, for a half a second, I'm like, oh my, wait, no, this is April Fool's Day. Nice one, Steve. Steve Eunice, you got me for like half a second. Apparently, others just don't look at the date. Because for like the next 3 days, people were calling into the Metropolis City of Commerce. And,
Oh,
like,
poor them, man. It feels
just
so
calling
bad.
to make sure that the statue is okay. So much so that they had to post on the Superman homepage that the statue was indeed all right.
It's ridiculous. I hope you know.
Yeah. It was, boy howdy.
Good on them, man.
That was
Good on
funny.
him.
That's funny.
I've got a couple more. One quick one is I think we should recognize Netflix's April Fool's Netflix Live.
Oh yeah.
Netflix Live's been canceled. That was funny. With the voice of BoJack Horseman and Lego Batman.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, thank you. It was Arnett something, and I couldn't remember
I
his
love
first
him.
name. I think he's hilarious. He's a funny man.
He's great in Arrested Development.
Yeah, he is. He's great in everything he does, honestly.
I want to give him a hug.
Yeah, he just voiced. He was just like doing commentary. He sounded like BoJack Horseman doing commentary on just office stuff. It was really funny. Oh man. So, but my favorite one, and I will argue, Paulson's pouring himself a Coke, Pepsi,
A Pepsi.
the heathen drink.
Yes.
I think the one that wins April Fool's Day, in my opinion, and I think Mario might kind of agree with me a little bit, is that Pornhub's April Fool's joke was beautiful. If you went on Pornhub on April Fool's Day and you clicked on a video, a pop-up window will come up saying, "Thank you for watching Pornhub" or something like that. Wow, we wanted to make your experience better, so we shared your interest with your friends, or like something like that, where it shared it to Facebook. It didn't. And there was 2 buttons. There was thanks Pornhub, and the other was oh God please no or something like that. You clicked on that one, the April Fools would go up.
So what if you posted like
I don't
thank
know.
you?
I don't know. I think it both would be the April Fool's joke. Will both be April Fools?
What if the thank you one was like, oh, it actually posted?
I love that one so much because I just reading the tweets, people freaking out. So, I figure we get into the news. Starting up with the news, we're going to tell. Mario knows this one's fake. I just thought it would be funny. The gay lion, Simba and Lion King. I was going to include it in the news article, but he'd already heard about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, because a friend of ours posted it, and we're like, oh. But
Yeah.
I'm not mad. It's fine. I mean, he would have figured it out anyways. It's so obvious.
Yeah, I'm not that stupid. I'm stupid, but not that stupid.
So, all right, we're gonna start with the news. Which one makes sense to that? So every article I'm gonna read, it's either real or fake. The fake ones will just I'll say, oh, it's fake. We'll laugh and move on. The real ones we'll probably discuss for a second or two. Do the usual thing.
Are you
All right.
gonna have me guess?
You're gonna guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it. You're gonna guess, and then if it's real, we'll discuss it. Say what we will. If it's fake, we'll laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
First news. Rainn Wilson joins cast of Star Trek Discovery as classic Star Trek character from the original series, Harry Mudd.
I want to go fake.
It's real.
Really?
Yeah. Harry Mudd's gonna be in the Star Trek
Sweet.
Discovery. I know, right?
Harry Mudd was
I thought it was awesome. I'm like, hell yeah, man, let's do it.
Harry Mudd, I love Rainn Wilson too.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's really good casting.
It's really good casting for a really good character. I'm really
Like, you
excited.
get that sleazeball kind of
Yeah.
character. Yeah, I'm about
I was
it.
so happy when I saw it wasn't fake. I'm like, yes, thank you, sweet.
I'm about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Next up, the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming sequels will bring back the Daily Bugle along with J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Fake?
Yeah, it's fake. The series will actually not have the Daily Bugle at all, from what we know. They said they won't have the Daily Bugle at all.
The Daily Beagle?
Bugle, sorry.
The Daily Beagle.
The reasoning is that he just seems too young with all this other stuff. They don't think he'd have a side job as.
Yeah, he wouldn't be that.
They think that's more of a college thing that Peter would do. So he won't be there at all. He won't be there at all apparently, which sucks. But I get the reasoning. I'm just a little upset that I won't be there. The upcoming Batman and Harley Quinn animated movie has cast Melissa Roche from The Big Bang Theory as the voice of Harley Quinn.
Yes, real.
It's real. I don't care, honestly.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't like The Big Bang Theory.
I hate The Big Bang Theory with every fiber of my soul.
It's like nerd blackface.
Every fiber of my soul. It really is. It's really insulting.
We got a Mr. Robot over here.
Yeah. Next up is the big news of the week. Jeff Johns to return to comics in August with a new Watchmen special sized event, book titled DC's Who is Oz? The book will feature artists such as Jason Fabok, Ivan Reyes, and Doug Monkey. The book will feature characters from all over the DC universe, mostly focusing on Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Superman's families.
I'm gonna go false.
It's fake. It's completely fake. Come on, it's way too soon. You know it's way too soon.
Well, that and why would Wonder Woman really be involved for a story about Oz?
I figure because she's like the whole thing with her memory and everything.
Yeah, but
and that's like
we've already announced Dark Days. I can't imagine them gonna have.
That's what I was saying.
Two
it's like
giant events in the same
when
year.
when I saw that on my news feed, I'm like, yeah, that's obviously fake. Like it's too soon.
You didn't bamboozle me.
Yeah, I'm like they would wait. They're gonna wait another year before they really dig deep into that.
That's the one thing I appreciate about this DC thing. They're taking their time.
Mm-hmm. Like they're building to it. It may not be the end of this year or early next year that they're really gonna do something with that. But they're gonna hint at it. They're gonna grow it and grow it and grow it for when it does happen to be a big thing. I do think next year we're gonna get the DC versus Watchmen kind of thing.
Please.
I think that's what's gonna happen is next year. Warner Brothers requires Game of Thrones director Miguel stupid names.
Sapochnik?
I don't know.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't watch
for their Suicide Squad sequel. Shubnushnik directed the final 2 episodes of the previous season 6, including the famous Battle of the Bastards battle scene, which was, by the way, one of the greatest battle scenes I've ever seen. I pick on this show a lot, but that battle sequence was beautiful and beautifully shot. So real or fake?
Fake?
Yeah, it's fake. They still haven't gotten a director, from what I understand. They still have no director.
Oh, this next one's real. Right?
Oh, we'll get there. But yeah, so it's fake, unfortunately. We're still waiting on the direction. Next one is Jak and Daxter Classics PS2 games coming to the PS4 later this year. These Jak games include Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy, Jak 2, Jak 3, and Jak X. The game has not been released on anything since the PS2.
That's real, right?
It's absolutely real. I'm super excited.
Me too.
Because I have Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy, Jak 2 and Jak 3 as HD remakes on my PS3, but I didn't have Jak X. I loved Jak X. Most people 50-50, but I adore that game. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. I think it's so much fun. I'm so excited. Also, it seems like they're going to be adding online functionality to Jak X, so I can play online with people. I am so hyped for that. I'm going to play the hell out of it. Also, if it does well, like sales-wise, that might push Sony in the PlayStation division to ask Naughty Dog to make another Jak game.
Oh,
I know.
Because I know they're going to do something like kind of related.
Like, they haven't stopped.
Like kind of related to this, but like I know they're gonna bring back Crash Bandicoot.
Yes, they've brought back Crash Bandicoot. The Insane trilogy looks beautiful. Like just looks genuinely stunning.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. We know Naughty Dog hasn't quit on the series because, for people to understand, Last of Us wasn't originally supposed to happen. The team that did Last of Us were originally going to do a Jak's game, a Jak and Daxter game.
Those games are just so fun.
They are great. But instead it decided, you know what? We're told we can do whatever we want. Let's do a new title.
Yeah.
And it being the greatest told story in video game history, just the greatest told story. So it's not like they've quit on it. They just haven't done anything to it because they haven't gotten an idea for it. It'd be really cool to see that they get inspired by this. Next up, Shia LaBeouf's new film only sold a single ticket in the UK.
False?
Yes, it actually sold 3. It sold 3 tickets.
I mean, I kind of knew because it was still in the edited script.
Was it? Oh
yeah,
my
that
bad.
you sent me. So, freebie for Mario.
Yeah, it's fake, unfortunately. It sold 3. That one was my favorite. I put it in last second 'cause I'm like, this is great. It sold 3. Poor guy. All right. Next up, Invader Sim is announced to return to Nickelodeon in form of a new movie later this year. The movie will run for a total of 90 minutes.
True.
Yeah. I never was an Invader Zim fan, so
I never got into it. I wasn't allowed to watch it. So
I just didn't think it was very good.
that just felt like that early 2000s Hot Topic vibe.
Yeah, it
lol,
did.
rar, so random, holds up spork, penguin of doom.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it had its moments where I thought it was hilarious. Like, it did bash on Nickelodeon one episode, and I thought it was funny. I just felt there were better dark.
Like props for doing some dark stuff for a kids program.
But I think
they're
I think Revengers was a more clever. Revengers Billy Mandy was a
it
more
was more
clever, dark,
intriguing.
a smarter humor, and funnier, honestly.
And it had Voltaire as he came in and did a song for one of the first episodes, the zombie one, the brain suckers. It's a great song.
It is. Are you ready for the next one?
I am. Sonor.
Michael Bay announces he has plans for 14 more Transformers movies.
Please be fake.
No, it's totally real. It's totally real!
No!
14 more!
Bean, no!
You thought he was done with you! He ain't done with you yet, boy! That's real!
That's
real!
20 fucking Transformers movies!
All of which terrible, most likely. Except for the first one. I like the first one a lot.
The first one's kind of fun.
It's fun. Yes, it's real! 14 more!
What is this, the land before fucking time?
I had Austin come back in here, and I asked him, that's fake, right? You just forgot to mark it? He's like, no, that's real. I'm like, no.
No.
No, he has plans. Does that mean he's going to make them?
He's going to make more explosions.
Okay.
More explosions per frame.
Oh my god. Next up.
He's going to increase the SPF.
Michael Rosenbaum and Sylvester Stallone are announced to be playing Silver Surfer and Galactus in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That's got to be fake. That can't be. With that close to the release date, they can't be announcing stuff like that right now.
You're right, it's fake. Stallone...
If it were a DC film, then I could buy that. But
yeah, I thought it was funny. I saw that fake. Yeah, it's fake. Sylvester Stallone's character has been sort of announced, but we think it's been announced accidentally.
I mean,
and it's some third rate.
If they show up, I'd be down for that. But
yeah, I would too. But imagine Sylvester Stallone's Galactus. Rocky as Galactus.
I would watch it.
That'd be hilarious.
I would watch it in a heartbeat.
Oops.
Oh, so while you're fixing this, I saw a small promo on the Cinemark and AMC Facebook pages.
Of?
There's going to be a My Little Pony movie coming to theaters in October.
Huge fan base. I'm not surprised. Huge fan base. I'm not surprised.
We're going to die.
It might be really good. And My Little Pony show does really well for itself. It's very critically acclaimed.
If I have to watch that, that's it.
I've seen
it's game over.
I've seen the first 2 seasons of the My Little Pony show.
It's game over.
Never get into it, but I thought it was well done. All right. Netflix Defenders get an official release date of August 18th, 2017. And it's been announced that Moon Knight is set to make an appearance.
Yes?
No.
No?
Yes, it'll be coming out in August. But Moon Knight will not be in it.
Oh, see, you pulled one of my... you pulled a dirty trick. You rat.
To be fair, that was Austin.
You farpooning rat snake.
That was Austin, and I couldn't help myself.
That's the kind of shit my professor pulls on his exams.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't help it. It was too good. Yeah, it's fake, but it's coming out August 18th. It's happening on August 18th. I'm excited for it. Next up, new Mega Man cartoon series lands on Cartoon Network.
Maybe? No? I'm gonna go no, but that'd be cool.
It's real.
Really? Oh.
It doesn't look very good.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look that great.
Rats.
The voice acting seems a little off, and I mean, the trailer was fine. I want a new Mega Man game. My friend Chase put it the great way. It's Mega Man X or Give Me Death. Like, yeah, Mega Man X is a great story. Do Mega Man X. Why would you do classic Mega Man? Because it's classic Mega Man. I'm like, why? Do Mega Man X.
Yeah.
Cool, edgy teenage Mega Man. You
don't understand me.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I just don't like the voice acting, and it's just weird, and I don't know. It's okay.
As I look at his Mega Man pop.
I do love Mega Man, though. Last but not least, Bayonetta has been finally put on PC. The long-awaited port has been released. It used to be on consoles only. We've been asking for a port for a while. Sega's been kind of like, we'll get to it eventually, kind of thing. And I finally put it on PC.
I'm gonna go false because Sega.
Yes, but Bayonetta is on PC.
Oh.
They released that they put Bayonetta as a port on PC. We all got excited. Click the link to Steam. It's an 8-bit version for free. It's actually fun as hell. It's a really good time.
Stop with this. Stop doing these half truths.
It's fake, but that was it was an extension to the joke. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely fake.
Doing these half truths.
Well, guys, that was the news.
I'll need your alternative facts.
It's what's the gentleman's name? Whose birthday is it?
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams' birthday.
He just turned 80 recently, and we lost Don Rickles. And
Rest in peace, friend.
Yeah, he was 90, and we lost Jim Marshall, who was the inventor, the guy behind the Marshall amp. So for me, like as a musician, guitarist, that's a big blow.
Rest in peace, friends. Rest in peace. And for Billy D. Williams, happy birthday, buddy. Hope we had a great birthday.
We're sorry you only got one line as Two-Face.
Yeah, it was kind of upsetting. I'm sorry, buddy. We're sorry that you never were allowed to come back again.
Almost 30 years, he finally got to be Two-Face, gets one line.
Sorry, bub.
But thanks for playing, Lando.
Thanks, buddy. All right, let's go to the comics now. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, well, first up, we got Aquaman number 20, written by Dan Abnett and art by Felipe Briones.
This is good. I liked it.
It's Aquaman versus monsters.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
We were talking about this earlier. I don't feel like the story necessarily is super.
It's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's a nice break from the Atlantean politics.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so much deep, really thought-provoking issues with him. So I guess the nice Aquaman versus monsters break is cool.
Yeah.
It also brings a villain from the
cool.
It also brings up a villain from the New 52, so that's kind of cool.
It's kind of like making it not feel like its own separate thing, just like there's an actual continuity.
I mean, it was the one thing in the one character introduced by Aquaman in the New 52 that was honestly super rad, except for his ability to teleport through any molecule, as long as it's a small molecule of water. I'm like, that's stupid. That's ridiculous.
Mirror Master I buy, but this I draw the line.
Mirror Master, for him to come out of the mirror, has to be big enough.
This guy, I'm wrestling your jimmies.
The smallest bit of water, like, what?
I'm wrestling your jimmies.
I know you're wrestling my jimmies. My jimmies are perfectly wrestled, thank you.
If we were in Jersey, jimmies would be sprinkles.
I call them sprinkles.
Yeah, like a person.
Let's continue.
I'm not sorry to anybody from Jersey. Just kidding.
Sorry, Kevin Smith.
Next up, we got Batman number 20, written by Tom King and art by David Finch. And
this is a hell of an ending to the story. A hell of an ending. It tied up every issue from 1 to 20 was all brought to a satisfying conclusion here.
Like they bring back stuff that's in the very, very first issue. And
just the narrator, who the narrator is in this book, is super rad. There's just moments in this book that are just really well done. It's just a really well told story. I know a lot of people are complaining about the I Am Bane arc because people are like, oh, there's no, they haven't fought yet. And then the last 2 issues was just them fighting, but the issues before that, like the first 3 were no fighting was
You
happening.
gotta have the build up. You can't just like.
How can you hang those guys in the Batcave and them not be alive? I'm like, dude, it's a comic book. Come on, calm down.
You're reading books about like guys that dress up as bats and men that can fly.
I'm like,
Just
yeah.
Suspend your disbelief.
Are there some ridiculous moments? Yeah, but like
It's a comic book.
Batman comic. Like I can take any great Batman story and show you moments where I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Like a penguin.
But honestly, this is a great Bane arc. This is the first really just. This is one. I think this will go down in history as being as good as one of the great Bane arcs.
I liked it.
And it's so great because you can read it from issue 1 to this one, and it reads like one whole story. Or you can just read I Am Bane,
and you still get majority of the pieces.
That's really well done. I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was just great. Tom King just has been just out of the park, hitting it out of the park every issue from him. I'm enjoying this more and more every issue.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this title. I think I mentioned it before, but I think I enjoy this title a little bit more than Detective. Just because I've been loving this Bane arc more than the League of Shadows.
League of Shadows is still getting its footing. I like it. I just don't think it has the weight that this Bane arc has had.
Like this one just like
I think
it's
this Bane arc
balls to the wall in your face.
I think what really pushes the edge over for this Bane arc and the League of Assassins arc in Detective is Finch. Finch in this Batman has been just he makes all the difference. Because Tom King's story is music. It's music on paper.
It's really good.
It's smooth. It's perfect. You fly through. It's great. But Finch's ability to just bring that feeling that King is trying to capture to life is just amazing. Just that one sequence where lightning strikes, and you see Batman next to the Arkham door. The lightning, lightning's gone, and it's black, and the lightning strikes again, and he's gone inside with the door open. Like, come on, that was gorgeous.
It was.
That one sequence with Batman on the roof, looking down earlier in the series, just him looking down at Bane.
It was Bane. I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna stand on your gargoyles.
Yeah.
It's good. Pick it up.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Just that whole ending thing. How Batman beats Bane is just awesome. It's just the coolest thing. There's this. I've made very clear I do not like the Dark Knight Returns book. I do think it's significant in Batman history for what it does for the character. I don't think it's a story it's very good. I don't like the art at all. I hate the art in that book. Finch takes an image from that book, does it himself, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Which shows that it's a good picture. It's just
poorly drawn by a mediocre artist. And
but Finch did it
by a masterstroke.
Yeah, Finch did it, and I'm like, wow, that looks great. I'm really enjoying that.
Next up, we got Cyborg number 11. This is written by John Semper Jr. and art by Will Conrad.
This is a new writer and artist, isn't it?
I don't think so. I've not.
New artist. Okay. Because you could tell. Cyborg looks different. Cyborg looks a lot like classic Cyborg. Not all of the bells and whistles everywhere, but he looks like the one kind of color. It's very, very. Here, do I have it here? I'll show it to you.
I wouldn't mind looking at that.
It looks very classic Cyborg, and that did a lot for the book, in my opinion. In my opinion, that did a lot for this book. The story got really strange, just weird. You want to open up things like that? The book just gets weird and just like it goes multi-dimension hopping, and it's just odd.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of like.
It's just
George Perez, Teen Titans stuff.
It's odd.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, it's such an odd story, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really fit within the narrative of the overall story, but it's really good. Like it's really entertaining and really interesting, and there's a lot of emotional weight to it. And I'm like, I don't know what changed, but I like it. I dig it. On one hand, I like the story a lot. On the other hand, I just want the story with this guy that he's fighting, the Mimic, however his name is. I just want it to end.
Still going?
It's still going. 11 issues in, and we're still going, Mario. I don't get it. Why?
That's a long time.
Yes, it's almost a year. It's almost been going for a year now.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, you're right. Wow.
The story's been going on for an entire year. Just end it. It's not this great big,
It's not. It doesn't. From what you've described it, it's not like this great reinvention of the character.
No, because the problem is not reinventing him at all. It's just doing him again in a different way. It's just doing the character we all know in a different area, with different people around him. Like, it just doesn't do enough for the character. It tries to introduce tons of villains, but none of them give enough time for me to really care. Just end this arc. This one story was really good, so that means there's potential with this writer, and this artist did great. I love the art in this book. I adored it. I thought it looked great. I had a great time looking at it. I honestly just got lost in the art a couple times. It was so cool. But yeah, I like it. I do. I really, really, really do. I wish the story would end by now.
That's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got. Sorry.
All right. Well, next up we got Green Arrow number 20, and that is written by Ben Percy and art by Eleonora Carlini.
Praise the Arrow Gods. They be Kevin Smith. What's his name again? Guy who did the When Roy Shut Up. Neil Adams.
Yeah.
Them being Kevin Smith and Neil Adams. Praise be to you. You too. I praise to you. A new addition to the greatness. This book was amazing. Amazing. A lot of people are put off by the heavy leftist message in these books.
But Green Arrow identifies as liberal. That's
yeah, he's
the thing.
Incredibly liberal, and I just like how it's done. Yes, it's preachy. This book is preachy as hell, but it's enjoyable. Like, it's really enjoyable. It also calls out Ollie on his crap, constantly calling him out on it.
Oh, like just him kind of being like hypocritical of something?
A little bit. He's a bit hypocritical. He's lost his company. He's lost all of his wealth.
Okay.
So now he is homeless and poor. So that's kind of cool. But a lot of people point out, yeah, now you are. But you've never lived your entire life like this. And he's like, I know, but, I can at least understand what you're going through, even if I don't experience it. I can appreciate the gravity of the situation, even if I've never lived in the situation. I'm like, yeah, I like that. This story was great. This story's really great. I like these Arrow stories. I read a lot of problems with people have with it because of the whole, like, oh my god, it's so liberal. I'm like,
but he's always been that way.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like, and they're not wrong.
My favorite bit though, like, is from the Kevin Smith run, Sound of Violence, where, like, I think Black Canary is talking to, I think, Speedy, and she's like, wait, where's Oliver? He's in the other room with Hawkman. Wait, so you're telling me that you got, like, the world's biggest liberal and the world's biggest Republican in the same room? They burst in and they're just sharing a laugh, man.
Yeah, it's just, I do see.
I was hoping for a bigger reaction, but okay.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I'm thinking, I do see people's issue with it. I get it. I do. I just feel like the writing is so strong.
I can kind of see it too. Like, sometimes a lot of politics in comics can be really off-putting.
Because I look at a lot of these reviews, and for the most part, most people review it very highly. But every so often you'll see a review that just really trashes it. And it's like, it's just this liberal mumbo. They're pouring their politics down your throat. I'm like, you're not
that's Marvel.
Wrong.
That's Marvel.
You're not wrong, but it's very well written.
Yeah, like, I enjoyed the Rebirth issue. I just didn't feel compelled to pick up the series.
Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying this, like, a lot. So yeah, I do recommend picking up the series. I do. I think it's great. I think this is a great Green. I think this will go down as a Green Arrow series that's incredibly underappreciated for its time. It was very, very, very well done when it was written. They're dealing with the whole pipeline issue right now, and it's really cool because they deal with a bunch of issues at once, and they kind of touch on They very heavily touch on racism, like against Native Americans, and I think that's an area I think we all know, but no one really appreciates how bad it really is. I just thought that was really well done. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy the series. I think it's every issue. Just every issue, I'm like, yeah, I like this a lot. Keep doing this. This is good. This is better than the show. Ha. Let's go to the next one. Sorry.
All All right, well, next up we got Green Lanterns number 20, and it's written by Sam Humphries and art by Ronan Cliquette. I had a lot of fun
I
with this
did too.
one. Oh, boy.
I like how Jessica steps up.
Oh, my God.
Very beginning, she just steps up. I love that first page is great. That first page, man. I just
yeah.
like, my God, that looks cool. And that makes you feel like really uncomfortable. Like
totally.
you feel that claustrophobic feeling being stuck in that like that bundle thing. You're like, oh God, no, thank you.
Oh, man. I love Jessica so much.
So do I.
She's great.
It makes me really happy.
If I could give her a hug, I would.
She really is the hero of the story.
Also, we finally get some more developments with what was his name? Not Polaris. The one lantern that was killed during the Phantom Ring storyline and replaced by the villain Volthoom. We're getting some developments on that. No, like the actual Guardian.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't a villain, though. He was a...
No, he was good, and then he got killed, and then his soul...
He's not killed. He's still alive.
But Volthoom is
he's in his body.
We get some development on that, which is great, because I've been kind of wanting to know where that's going to go.
Same.
The bits with Dr. Polaris, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God, yeah.
For
it
a
makes
while,
you
I'm like,
feel
wait,
for
is
the
this
guy.
in another location? Oh, this is all in his head.
Yeah, you really feel for this guy.
The two panels. There's two panels in there that are just absolutely chilling. Where he's like, no, I am not Dr. Polaris.
Mm-hmm.
Then the locker opens. And it's like, are you?
It's so good.
Because, control of metal.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like, oh, that's so cool.
Control of metal.
It's good. Like we say every time this book comes out, pick it up.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a huge disservice by not reading it.
Yeah, it's so good, man. It's just such a great tight Green. I don't like Green Lanterns, man. I'm not a fan of the Green Lanterns at all. Like, you can ask any of them. I never got into the Green Lantern or Green Lantern Corps that much. And even
there's just a lot of characters that...
And it's not even that. A lot of characters that suck. They all suck. They're all always poorly written. I always make an example like, Guy Gardner's a great example. I hate Guy Gardner.
I love him now. The way he's written currently.
Yeah, he's so well written. But I was say the best book Guy Gardner was ever in was in Death of Superman when he got the crap kicked out of him by Doomsday. Just got railed by Doomsday. But and even the New 52 run, I'm like, this is good. I don't like it. I can't get into it. And I felt bad because it's one of my favorite writers on it.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm like, I don't know what has changed with these two books, but there's something here that I'm connecting with. Green Lanterns especially. I just love these two characters.
They're so good. I can't wait to get action
they have
figures
become
of them.
my new favorite Lanterns. I like them more than I like Jon Stewart. I just think these two have more character than Jon Stewart. I like them more, though I love Jon Stewart, and he is the highlight of the Green Lantern Corps. But this is just so good. It's just so good. I can't imagine anyone not enjoying it.
I was partially disappointed when I got the DC Icons Justice League 7-figure pack, and Simon or Jessica was not the Green Lantern in there. It was Hal Jordan. I'm like, he's not even a League member anymore.
Yeah, I was really upset by that because I'm like, that's just...
It's a nice figure, though. Oh, it's shiny.
It feels cheap.
But I can't wait to get figures of them because I love these characters a lot.
Same.
Anyway, next up we got Justice League number 18, written by Brian Hitch and art by Fernando Pesarin.
I tweeted this out after reading the book, and I just don't like this issue at all. I just don't like it. I just can't understand what's going on. I tweeted it out. Currently trying to figure out what the hell Hitch is doing in the Justice League. What's going on in this story, and why are there bald baby people? They're bald baby people. I don't get this story. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know.
I don't know what he's going for right now. I appreciated small moments in here, like Batman with Lex Luthor's suit. That was pretty rad. But it's just like the small moments aren't adding up to total an excellent book, in my opinion. I'm staying on because my boy is in it.
Yeah, and
I really shouldn't be picking a book up out of obligation. That's not fair.
Especially when it's the Justice League. It's the Justice
Just have
League.
them go up against aliens or something.
It's just
buy tacos.
There's
something.
no weight behind this book. There's no weight. There's no feeling like, oh my god, something's gonna happen. Yes, you can't make the feeling that Justice League's gonna lose, obviously.
Especially because this takes place before Superman Reborn. So
So
there's this whole
we know
subplot
it's
where it's like,
fine.
well, there's this whole subplot where it's like John and Lois have been abducted by these creatures, alien things, and Superman's got to save his family. Okay, but we know they're safe because this takes place before Superman Reborn, and they're
Yeah.
safe in that. So there are no stakes here.
The thing is, do you know what made the Amazo arc a lot of fun? Is that, yes, you don't feel
Superman wasn't in it, and they solved the problem by themselves by thinking.
no. Yes, you knew the League members were gonna be fine. You knew all of them would be fine. You knew it. You'd be fine, right? But there were side characters that were interesting that you cared for that might not be. So you got connected to those characters, and you felt you wanted them to be fine, and you want to see what happened to them. That's a good Justice League book. It's like what you have to realize that you can't make us think that these characters are going to be hurt. Yes, okay, some of them occasionally you'll do it, and we'll be shocked, right? Doing it all the time, this just gets overplayed.
Yeah.
So you have to write your side characters well enough to us be interested. There's a betrayal in this book, and it's terrible. It's
It kinda
stupid. It comes out of nowhere for no reason, and I'm left asking myself, why do I
There weren't any.
care?
From what I remember, there weren't any indicators.
No,
Yeah.
there wasn't, and it's dumb. It makes no sense.
Like, it kind of reminded me of the Atomica reveal around the time of Forever Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least there were like some very small nuggets placed here and there that it's like, all right, I'll buy that reveal.
I'd buy that for $1.
But like this one, it just comes out of nowhere. It's not
It's
earned.
not good.
It's not earned.
It's absolutely not earned.
So hopefully this story wraps up quickly. I want to get to the Reborn tie-ins.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Nightwing number 18, written by Tim Seeley and art by Javi Fernandez.
Pretty great book.
I had fun with this one.
Pretty great book.
He squeal!
He squeals. I was. Dude, they brought in Professor Pig. Come on, man. You brought in Professor Pig. Out of all the villains you can do in this book, Professor Pig. That's awesome, alright?
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I also like the ending of this book a lot. Because you're reading this and you're going, this is really great, and just after this is also really great, and it's like the implications to what's going on at the end of the story. You're either gonna get really, really sad because Nightwing's doing all of this to save what he thinks could be a family, or you're gonna get really excited for the future because Nightwing's gonna have a kid.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne's gonna be a granddad, a grandpa. Just think of that, Batman, super grandpa, Bat grandpa. I love it. I love the idea of it. It's great.
He's gonna be incapacitated for a while. He's got a broken ankle now.
It's Batman. He'll find a way.
No, Nightwing.
Oh yeah, he does have a broken ankle.
Yeah.
We might get like 3 or 4 issues.
Just him just lounging around. What, did you expect anything else? I've broken my ankle. I'm just watching Netflix.
We might get a few issues of him like reconsidering his life choices. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I don't know. I've been enjoying this book a lot.
I have too.
It's good to see him back in Bloodhaven doing this Nightwing thing.
Yeah, and I really like where it's going. I like how it's getting there, and I just think it's overall well.
I love the art too.
Yeah, it's just well written. It's really interesting.
It's Nightwing.
This book could mean a lot for Nightwing's future, depending on how it goes.
Yeah.
And it's also just fun. It's just a good story. It's just a generally good story.
Go well for him. I think that's all we really got on it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Next up, we got Shade the Changing Girl number 7, written by Cecil Castellucci and art by Marguerite Sauvage.
You know, I liked all the.
It looks like sausage.
Yeah, I liked all the Shade the Changing Girl books. Right, I liked 1 through 6. I think they're all really good. I think they're all really interesting. I think they're all really fun. I think they tell a compelling story. I adore this book, this newest issue. Issue number 7, it's fine. Just pour the Pepsi in the cup.
Well, I got some Pepsi on. I'm pouring Pepsi, not peeing.
Like I was saying, I adore Shade the Changing Girl number 7. On top of the art just being astounding, just on top of the art being some of the greatest art I've seen people do in a long time, the story itself is just compelling. Are you really doing that to our fans? Are you
ASMR,
really?
Man.
Are you really doing that
We're
to our
gonna be
fans?
stars. This isn't working out.
All One fans. This art is just the bright colors, the fun, bright colors that are in it. Just the fun, like, waves of the art is great. And the story, my God. So here, look at this real fast. Look at this page. Look at the page.
What? Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
In like that surrealist kind of way.
It's
for
every
the
issue's
creatures.
a surrealist side. Look at this one. This is one of my favorite. There's this whole splash page of her just
What the?
internal monologue of her around the world and what she would do, and it just looks rad. It just looks super rad.
It's well drawn.
Yeah, and it just so every issue of Shade the Training Girl is like that. It's super well drawn. I specifically love this one for the bright colors and how they use this like almost oil paint kind of feel to it, and the surrealist bright colors. I just think it's beautiful looking. But this issue's story is just wonderful. You learn about Shade. You learn about the person in the. You learn about the girl in the man in this jacket. I always mess up her name. I think it's like Suvi or something like that. Let me just double. No, it's not sushi. It is not sushi.
Speaking of which, I could use some sushi.
I could use some sushi as well. Loma. Sorry, no, I was talking about Suvi. It's Loma.
Kind of off there.
Yeah, a lot. Loma story herself, you get to learn about her backstory, why she is the way she is, and it's brilliant. It's just super cool. But that, along with the story that's happening currently, like we learn about her backstory because she's telling her friends, and we learn about her like emotional battle at the time, like why like she's really emotionally like conflicted right now, and why she picked Earth, and like the ending of the book is just it's so heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking because after knowing all this, you just want Loma to find happiness. You just want her to be content. You want her to feel like she can be just fine where she is, and just the ending is just it's high school, and I hate it because this is exactly what would happen. And I'm like, no, God, no, why do you do this to me, man? It's brilliant. This issue is brilliant, like brilliant. My best issue so far. It stepped up the game to 11. I think it's fantastic. I love this so much. I can't. It's just so hard to put in words how good this is, and just how well done it is, how beautiful it is, and how just like compelling the story is. It's just great. It's just great. Pick it up. I really get all 7 issues. Mario, get all 7 issues. You will love it. You will just have a great time. It's just a great time. Yes, it is. It's just a great time. Great. All right.
Well, that's what you got on it.
Yeah, that's all I got. It's been the last like 5 minutes just raving about it. That's all I got. Shut up.
Well, next up we got the Star Wars number 30.
We got the Star Wars.
Go enjoy a Star Wars. It's written by Jason Aaron and art by Salvador LaRocca.
The hell is that?
An ad.
At least the rock story, the Blue Rock story is over. And the ending to the Blue Rock story is...
They all die.
Fine. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just okay. It's a well-written, stupid story. It's a well-written story that feels like it could be in the prequels. It really does. Yeah, it really does. It's just that campy, and it's that goofy, and it's that dumb, and it's that ridiculous. It's that out of nowhere. It's at the worst possible time within the Star Wars story. You know, you have an ongoing series that's been going on for 30 issues, for going on, what now? 3 years? Eventually, like, it's soon to be reaching, not a 3-year mark, but it's been going on for over 2 years. Like, it's about 2.5 years of the Star Wars series, just continuously coming out every month. You're gonna have a bad story. And this is it. This is the bad story. This is the story that it's not even bad. It's well written, but a story that isn't that good. So it's like a really nice looking poop. Yeah, it looks great, and you gotta admire how good that poop looks. But it's still poop.
It's a poop.
It's still a poop, and you cannot fix that it is a poop. It is bad poop. Poop. No poop. It's a smelly poop. Very evidently poop. I don't know. What's the accent. It broke me, okay? It was dumb. It was a stupid story. I want to know what happened to C-3PO. I want to know what's happening to R2-D2. Why does he know that planet is trying to save Eva's robots? I don't get it. Why? Why is this happening? So-
That's not fun.
It's not. I'm just glad it's over. I can't wait for the next issue. It's finally gonna move on from the story. We can finally get somewhere with it. What are you gonna show me? Read the next comic.
Next up is Star Wars Rogue One. It's an adaptation, number 1 of 6, written by Jody Houser and art by Emilio Lazo and Oscar Bazaidua. I'm just gonna call him Oscar Bazooka.
Did we talk about in the early episodes? We talked about the Force Awakens adaptations, right? Like at least the last two.
You
we
talked about them.
Okay.
Yes.
And as I said before, I'm gonna restate for those of you who may have not seen those episodes. The thing with comic adaptations of a movie, you're really just putting it out for the collectors. That's what you're doing. You're putting it out for the collectors to enjoy.
Yeah.
For the ones like people like me who adore Star Wars, who love the series, you're putting it out for us, and you're giving it because it's a testament. It's like here's some unique, fun art. Here's some cool art to do. And yes, this book had beautiful art.
Now you can read the movie instead of watching it.
Yeah, it looked really good. But what I was pleasantly surprised on is that unlike almost all adaptations of a movie, this book added content to the film.
Really?
It added canon content. We got to see Jyn Erso being left by like a page of Jyn Erso being abandoned by Saw Gerrera, which that was really interesting because it alludes that they're going to talk about it more. We got to see Jin's father talk to the pilot that broke off and helps them with the plans.
Okay,
We got to see them talk and have that conversation of him kind of having a choice because he now knows the truth of what Jyn Erso has been up to with that whole weakness. And he has to make a choice. He chooses to leave and do what's right. That was really cool. So they added content. They had, instead of just starting, we start with Jyn Erso in the cell. We actually get a moment before that, her walking into the cell, being in the cell for the first time, and her talking to her cellmate. That was a really, really cool moment. Like the whole sequence was really sweet. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is rad. There's this whole moment before she gets into the transportation thing for the death camp, where she's talking, the aliens threatening her, or there's aliens threatening her, and she's responding to it. I'm like, this is super cool. Like, this is really cool. Like, I really like this. And it's a lot of that. It's a lot of, yes, there's small additions, but there's a lot of them. They cut out the entire beginning of the movie.
Right.
It's 1 page quick snippet of her mother getting killed. Not 1 page, but like 2 page quick snippet. Her mother getting killed. Her taken away by her running away from her father.
Is that Forbidden Planet wallpaper, sir?
Yes, on my computer.
I
yes,
appreciate you.
Yeah. So it's just real fast. It's real quick. You get the gist within seconds. You're like, that was good. That was really good. It's gonna have a lot of emotional impact later in this story. I like this a lot. If this is what I'm getting, like I said, I usually just flip through these books and look at the art. But I started off and I saw how fast the beginning went. I'm like, well, that's weird. And I started slowing down, kind of getting, like, the next page was more original content. I'm like, really? And I just kept reading it. I'm like, yeah, there's moments where, like, I remember this in the movie. Some parts make me giggle. So I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But then there's enough there to where I'm like, I'm actually reading every page. And I'm like, this is really good. I was surprised. And it's funny because I see a lot of people are upset by this because it's not the movie.
Oh,
it is the movie. It's the movie, but it's
stuff that didn't make it.
It's changing the movie. Not changing it, it's adding to the movie.
Yeah.
Which I can see as an adaptation comic. I can see being upset by that. I'm just so used to it that when it happened, I was pleasantly surprised. And I was I was happy about it. I'm like, cool. If that's the case, and this is well written, it's not poorly written, it's not shoehorned in, it feels natural to the story, all right. Go ahead. Show me what you got. I'm ready for it. I would love more content in this universe. I love more content in Star Wars. You know me. I'm picking every Star Wars book out. Every Star Wars comic book post the buyout and like the new lore. I have all of them. Every single one of them.
Not all the variants though, because that's
just
ridiculous.
That's not a lot of those
There
variants.
were like 70-something variants for the first issue of Star Wars.
Remember, this is Marvel variants.
Yeah.
Most of them are awful. Almost all of them are trash.
I like the Kenner ones though; those are kind of cool.
They're cute.
Nice little nostalgia bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up, and actually, we'll just finally we got Superman number 20, written by Peter J. Tomasi and art by Patrick Gleason.
I love it. Take it away, buddy.
This is probably like the greatest way that you could kick off this post-Reborn era.
Yeah.
I mean, because, yeah, it would be nice to kind of know a little bit about what's going on with continuity, and everybody's been like, everybody's been hinting, you're not who you think you are, but it's like, you know what, I just kind of need an issue of Clark and Lois and John eating a piece of pie.
It does discuss it. It does say something very quietly, very subtly, but it doesn't leave you with nothing.
It gives you a moment
a little
to breathe.
bit. Because they know, okay, Action's taking care of that. Action's already got that handled. Supergirl's working on that. Superwoman's working on that.
Justice League's
gonna work on that. Trinity's gonna work on that. Super Sons. Like, it's covered.
Yeah.
Superman's gonna mention it, but we're going to push forward. We're not gonna stay with the past. We're gonna push forward a little bit with this book. I'm like, on one hand, I'm a little upset that I have to wait another week to get some more, to make more clarification, more like for the epilogue of the story. But I do love this book.
It was a nice little breather episode.
Well, it's gonna be
it's
two
gonna
to three issue series.
It's gonna be like an actual arc, but you know, this first issue of this arc was a nice little breather. Just like, all right, well, we've dealt with Mixie and our lives are completely changed now. Let's have some pie, John.
And Batman.
Yeah. Batman doesn't like pie.
Batman doesn't like pie? It killed me. I just started laughing. I'm just like, Peter, stop. Tomasi, buddy. Tomasi, buddy. I love you. I do. No.
It's good. I had a lot of fun with it. We're going to sit down and talk like normal people.
This isn't Gotham. This is Smallville. We're going to sit down and talk like normal people or like Lois.
This also had probably like one of my favorite lines or like exchanges of dialogue in all the comics this week. It was, you know, Batman's like, you know, you're hiding out away here. You know, the world's a lot darker than it is out here. And Superman's just like, maybe we just need to shine a little bit brighter. I'm like, that's my boy.
That's Superman. Like, that was a big moment for me. Because I'm like, this is where I'm like, that's Superman. That's the Superman we haven't seen and we didn't see New 52.
Yeah.
That's the Superman we need right now.
Also, that splash page, like on the second
page. Oh my god, it was gorgeous. I was reading it with you there, and I'm just like, dude, just look at this.
Give me a poster of that.
Yeah, just look at this. This is perfect. Also, I do appreciate Patrick Gleason's callback to Batman and Robin issue.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
I saw it. I'm like, oh, Bean's gonna have fun with that.
Yeah, like, I respect Gleason. That looked really good. I like it. You played up for a little bit of comedy, and I find that funny, and it's very fun. I like, good on you, Gleason. You did it really well. A lot of people have done that image before. This is one of those instances where I think it's great, and you did a great job.
He's a good Batman too.
He does.
Like all the shadowy stuff.
He's not okay. I make the argument that his Batman, when you're seeing Batman like in color, yeah, I've heard some complaints that it looks a little funky. Like, he draws Batman like a Superman that slouches, and I'm like,
I mean, really.
I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, kind of what it is. But yeah, I see that issue. He does draw him a little weird. He's inconsistent about the facial hair. Yeah. And I'm like, I can understand that. But then and Gleason's like, but hear me out. Silhouettes. His Batman silhouette, perfect. I love when we get like this silhouette with Batman like staring down, looking at something that's like cape flowing, or like he's going through the air. You don't see him; you just see the silhouette of like this bat-looking figure going through the air. It's so cool. I love those moments.
I'm gonna have to go back and relook at those.
I live and I die for those I live and die for those Batman moments. Those Batman moments, just a piece of me lives there. I'm like, that's why one of the reasons I love Batman. Those moments are the moments that I'm just like, this is why I love the character. It's because you can tell a compelling story, but this is some beautiful art you can do with it.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Batman, the Batman Shadow crossover starting soon.
Picking that up.
Yeah,
I love the Shadow. I love Batman. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. This Superman book was great.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good.
Also, the ending. F the ending. I hate that ending. It hurts me. Knowing what's happening. I'm like, no, bad, Tomasi. Don't you do this to me, sir. Don't do this to me.
I love this book.
I was hurt.
Though I do love the variant cover a little bit more than the standard cover.
What's the variant cover?
It's still done by Gleason, but it's it's Superman lifting a plane with the sun shining through like behind him and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's Superman.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's Superman.
I like the cover we got though, personally.
Oh, I like it too. I would have preferred brighter skies.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
given the name of the arc, it makes sense. It's Superman.
Yeah, it was a Superman moment. I'll give you that. Well,
So-
guys, that was the comics.
Yeah.
It was it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good week. We had a couple bummers, but well, it's comics. You can't always be a hit, you know?
Yeah.
So, leaving comics, and as always, we're gonna comics from Document 94. If you're in the South Florida area or the Boca Raton area, go to Document Bay. The place is awesome. Free Comic Book Day is coming up. When's that again?
May 6th.
May 6th. Free Comic Book Day is a big day for your local comic book store. They can usually sell a lot of issues. They usually have big sales. So look it up, see who's doing what. Go out, just show some support, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to Docking. I'm probably going to Document Bay both. They're having a sale for 2 days. Not just we're doing Free Comic Book Day and the day after Free Comic Book Day. They did that last year as well.
Yeah, depending on what my work schedule is, because we finish closing around
'Cause
that time.
I would like to go to Free Comic Book
Yeah.
Day for the sale to buy things on sale. I would like to go the day
Like
after.
half off comics,
Yeah.
man.
I would like to go the day after just to hang out.
Mhm.
He also does half off like figurines. And for those of you who may not know, I play Star Wars miniatures. I play that game. I think
X-Wings.
it's called
that's his big
X-Wings.
thing.
I love it. I think it's great. I have a great time with it. And he usually puts his figures half off, so that's what I'm like. I want to buy that and buy that and buy that and buy that and buy that. Bobby walks by. She's like, "No, 1," and I'm like, 2, 1. Okay. But she's the responsible one of the two of us, so. So yeah, guys, really, Free Comic Book Day is a great time. Socialize, have a good time. It's fun.
Yeah, man. Like he didn't get the, like I mentioned before, I got the DC Icons Justice League pack. He didn't get that in initially the week that it came out. He ordered that in for me, and
Yeah.
he held it from me for a week.
It was really
until
nice of him.
Yeah, yes, I know I have Pepsi in my mustache,
Just want to tell you.
but I really appreciate John. If you are ever in the area, check his store out.
Yeah.
It's like a Cheers scenario, but not everybody there's depressed and an alcoholic.
That's only me. Yeah, it was great. Well, that being said, let's get into the everyone's favorite Garbage Day.
Garbage Day!
This week's Garbage Day was a funny little film called Wilson. Directed and written by uninspired clowns and starring Woody Harrelson. Buddy, what are you doing? You're popular. You're famous. They're writing you like a discount Louis C.K. Get out of there. Don't do this movie. What you doing, homie? Woody Harrelson, I love you. I went to this movie thinking...
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the cast list. One of the actresses is Mary Lynn Rajskub or something. I glanced at it and saw a rim job.
Like, look, I get it. I get it. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, man, I should do this movie. And like, no, just say no. Just say no. Just do it. It's okay. It's okay. So I hate this movie. How about you?
It's bad.
I hate this movie. I don't dislike. I hate this movie. I hate it.
It's so cynical.
No, it's not even that. Out of all the movies we've seen, I think this is the worst one.
Really?
I think this is the worst one.
Not even the Jesus film.
You know what? You know the thing with the Jesus film? It made a point.
A bad point.
I disagree.
But
I disagree with the point,
a poorly made point.
but it makes the point and it's consistent with that point. You know, you can say it.
Not even Rings.
You can just Rings tells a story, a coherent story. I may not like the story.
The Disappointments Room.
Same deal. It tells a coherent story.
Anthropoid.
Tells an unfortunately clear story. A very quiet, long, boring story. All these films have... I dropped my phone.
I didn't do it.
That was Woody Harrelson from wherever he is, sipping his $1 million scotch or whatever he's drinking because he's richer than I will ever be. I'll worry about that later. All these films do something. This film, story, halfway through changes for no apparent reason. First half of the story makes no sense
The pacing in this is atrocious.
Horrid. The point the story has to make doesn't exist because every time it makes a point, it undercuts itself. It acts like what's it called? An anti-technology movie. Like, oh, modern technology.
The newfangled computers.
But then every problem is solved from technology.
Or
from
could be solved by technology.
No, it is solved. Every problem, if you look at the movie, every problem is solved through technology. You know, the character is constantly complaining about it, but his entire life sucks because he's this way.
Not all of them. His dog still dies, regardless of whether he's got a phone or not.
If he had a phone, he wouldn't have gotten to the situation where he couldn't have been there for his dog.
The dog still would have died.
So of course, Garbage Day is spoiler free, so we're gonna spoil it. Okay, so you think, all right, this movie is supposed to punish him in some way, right? No, he gets everything he wants in the end. He gets a girlfriend. He gets
a hot girlfriend. He gets
girlfriend.
Judy Greer, man. Like, Judy Greer is attractive.
Mm-hmm. He gets his daughter his adopted daughter. It treats him like he's like is there. It allows him to be a pseudo kind of father. He gets to be a granddad. Everything he wants.
He gets a Mac that he shares with his girlfriend.
Yeah, like he should.
He gets half-hearted sex with her bra still on.
The movie.
Twice.
The movie says, "Oh," he starts punishing him for being himself. I'm like, okay, at least that's something, you know. It's saying you can't act this way and be this kind of person and succeed. But he's still that person in the end, and then he succeeds. It's terrible. And no one in this movie acts well, especially Woody Harrelson did terrible in this film. Like, Woody, buddy, what you doing? What you doing? I love you. You're funny. You're entertaining. You're enjoyable. What the hell happened?
Everything.
The movie's awful. This movie is complete trash, and I was insulted by the film, not because of the whole kids today message. Yeah, that annoyed me, but how it made its character in a kids today message. Usually the character is better. Like usually the character's better. Like the main character is better than kids today. He's worse. He's more cynical. He's more self-centered. He's more selfish. He's more full of himself. And you think, oh, that's the message. He learns how to not be that much. No, it's not, because he still is that way at the end of the film. No one learns anything. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Movie's atrocious.
We went with Grace, who's
my roommate.
Yeah, and one of her coworkers, and they
got us free tickets.
Yeah. They had free tickets and they felt cheated, and they walked out.
They walked
30
out.
minutes into the film.
We got free tickets and we felt cheated. We got free tickets and I'm like, Mario, do we have to stay? The moment in this film where I get up, I walk away from the seats, I take a breath, and I come back.
Yep, he did.
The last of this film, I had my phone out. No one was in the theater. There's a guy in front of us. He doesn't care. He's not having fun either. I had my phone out. Just scrolling my phone because I just couldn't anymore. I was bored. I was bored beyond tears. I understood what was going on in the film. I was paying attention, but I was just bored. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
It's not good. I hate everything about this film. It's soul-sucking. It's insipid. It's cynical.
God, it's so soul-sucking.
Apparently it's based off of a graphic novel, but it's like, okay, so what?
Why?
Why do I care? April Fools, this was the sleeper comic book hit of the 2017.
It won't be Justice League. Ayo!
I loathe the fact that domestic abuse is made a joke of, because Woody Harrelson's character briefly
his ex-wife
abused him in like,
and they put it to a joke. And
yeah, not once but twice in the film, and I'm like,
if you know they did it with a female character, people would have brought up and been upset. And I'm not saying, oh, they treat male characters. No, it's one of those things like
equality for all.
Let's
like,
all be. It's
a real issue, man.
Let's all be honest here. Let's all be honest here when it comes to domestic abuse. It doesn't happen as often, But when men face domestic abuse, they are ridiculed.
Yeah.
More often. And it's
Oh,
a
you
problem.
got beat up by a girl.
Yeah, basically. And it doesn't happen very often. I recognize that, but it's still a problem. So when it's made fun of, it's kind of frustrating because it's just, it's not fair. Like, it doesn't, it's like, I don't care how how much of a douche this guy is.
Yeah,
He doesn't
like
deserve this.
nobody deserves to be mistreated like that.
And he
by
has
somebody
Stockholm
that
syndrome.
Yeah,
He's got a
he keeps
severe
going back to his
abuse.
crack whore wife. She is. She prostitutes herself and she's addicted to cocaine or heroin or whatever. And then, he goes away to prison for 3 years. She gets off scot-free.
By the way, kind of her fault as well.
Oh,
Like,
totally her
not
fault.
Not completely her fault. He has a lot to blame for it, but she doesn't. She could have made it much easier. She could have fixed it.
Yeah. Well, the fact that she gets off scot-free pissed me off, too. Because she had an equal part. Like, she beat the hell out of her sister. I'm pretty sure she went at her
Yeah,
with, a frying pan.
Yeah, okay, I'll get it. Giving it. She went after her verbally abusive sister, but she beat her.
Yeah.
It was bad.
This is a horrible movie. The daughter, the daughter that they find that is really theirs that they gave up 17 years ago, is the most carbon copy, cardboard cutout, lazy, stereotypical teenagers. I wear all black and my hair is got purple highlights because I'm different and unique. But I'm also, an outcast. I'm a social loner. Yeah, I've never seen that done before.
That's never
Brilliant
happened.
writing, absolutely astounding.
That's not new. That is that's not overdone. That's brand new.
It's
Like, of course, it's so overdone.
I said before that the pacing in this is atrocious. There was a point where I look over to Christian and I'm like, hey, Christian, how much longer is left in this? He's like, about 30 minutes. Nope.
No, it was 30 minutes.
Oh, was
it?
it?
Was a very dragging 30 minutes.
Well, because...
Maybe 35 minutes. Might have been off by a few.
There's a majority of the film is just the lead up to the stuff where he goes to prison and then everything just kind of rushes after.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I hate this film so much.
I do too.
We started talking about kryptonite in the movie theater. That's how bored we were.
Yeah, I got into an argument with some friends about kryptonite. Not argument, but we were discussing it, and I was talking to Mario. I was just clarifying some facts about kryptonite, because I read Superman. I love Superman, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia, and I want to make sure that when I spew facts, there's some real facts here. They're true. Mario does the same thing with Batman. He's got Batman questions like, Christian, this is correct, right? I'm like, yeah, it is. And I'll give him a little more explanation, this some more context. But so we do that all the time for each other. So I was talking to my friends, messaging my friends about it, having a discussion about kryptonite, and it was a day.
Have a day.
Movie's awful. Movie's terrible.
Don't say it.
Just don't see it. It's just no content. We could talk about how
There's nothing.
We can talk about how in the end he suddenly becomes a granddad. We can talk how his daughter, well, when she's introduced to her dad, she doesn't feel like an outcast and she stops wearing black. I'm like, we would talk about all that, but why would we? Just don't see it. It's not worth your time. Woody Harrelson's been doing a lot of these third-rate indie films.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he's doing it. He really should just sit back. He either has a terrible agent, an awful agent, or he's just not good at picking roles himself. So either way, he either should get a good agent or get a better agent.
I have two more things before I guess we wrap up this discussion.
Go ahead.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, right before this past week hit, I was looking on Rotten Tomatoes, and it looked like Boss Baby was going to be the film of the garbage day. It had 27%. Then the film came out, and it went up to 48%. And I saw that Ghost in the Shell was at 41%. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to watch that. And then Bean told me there was another.
I'm so...
And it was this.
Sorry.
Also, the other thing, there's a scene where they're in the mall, and Woody Harrelson and his daughter are eating snacks in front of an Orange Julius. Do they still have those around?
I don't know.
Wait, do they have that? They still have one in the Boynton Mall, don't they? An Orange Julius, right in front of the Hot Topic. I think they do. I guess we'll have to go.
No.
No to going or no to Orange Julius?
No.
I'll just go take.
Nope.
I'll take the tri-rail then. I've done it before.
Leave it at 3 in the morning. Get there by 4 in the afternoon. All right.
It's not good.
It's not good. Don't see it.
Save your time. Save your
So
money.
we decided we've done I think the last 3 weeks we've done a matinee showing. So we decided for this week we were going to
kick it old school.
Kick it old school, homie. And we were decided, it'd be fun. We saw the new one. Let's go back and let's discuss the classic original King Kong.
King.
King Kong.
Let's all hear the monkeys sing.
From 1933.
I'm not a rapper.
Directed by Marion C. Cooper, who was uncredited. Ernest B. Schoedsack, who was also uncredited.
No, he was credited.
Looked it up. Neither one of them were credited in the making of this film. They were only credited after fact.
Where are you looking?
IMDb, and I decided to look up a couple sources as well.
I don't have the stuff pulled up on me, so that is, I guess, my bad.
Written by James Kleeman. I was James Creelman. James Creelman. His full name is James Ashmore Creelman, but he just went James Creelman on that. And Ruth Rose has a couple other credits for writers, but those are the two main ones. Starring Frey Ray, Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot, and a monkey. A very well animated monkey. So, we rewatched King Kong 1933's version. Okay. So we rewatched it.
Oh, I was right. It was RKO. They did. It was in RKO.
Was RKO?
Yeah.
We rewatched it. We recorded a commentary on it. I'll release that at some point. Probably that's around the same time this is going to get released. We watched it with Austin and Bobby because they'd never seen it before, and so they got to experience it for the first time. Sorry, and a couple of things I forget about this movie. First up, still amazing. They would all agree. Mario's not printed.
Oh, I'm looking at the IMDb.
Yeah, still amazing. Movie's still amazing.
Technically, visually.
I was looking at some current reviews of the film, seeing how it holds, how people see it hold up, and someone pointed out that yes, the movie might not technically hold up, but for what it does, it was writing its own rules.
Yeah.
It was writing new rules. It was writing rules that didn't exist. I'm like, absolutely. That's how I would feel about it. It was writing its own rules. It was just trying the best it can.
Because something like this on this scale had never been attempted. I mean, stop motion films had been done before by the guy that was in charge of the animation for this. He had done stop motion films and then released them as they were shorts, but nothing like 120 something minute film.
Yeah, and you gotta remember this came before Godzilla. Godzilla came out in 1954. This came out in 1933. This is a solid almost 20 years before Godzilla. Wait, no, a little over 20 years before Godzilla. So this is doing something that no one else done before, and Godzilla did it differently. Godzilla was all man in suit, small scale, big scale kind of thing. King Kong was all stop motion animation. They did some really cool things where they'll play a screen of King Kong in the background.
It's already been animated, and then the actors will react to the footage after watching it.
And they'll set up a set with that in the background, where the set will move along with them and whatnot.
Or they'll have miniature projections on, the sets with King Kong, and they're animating it. And while they're doing that, they're moving the footage of the actors reacting to King Kong one frame forward, and it's just astounding.
There's a moment in
The
this film.
creativity.
There's moments in this film like you are shocked by almost the seamless from claymation to real people, claymation to real people, claymation to real people. There's one moment where he's carrying the girl and he puts her on the tree, and if you pay, I mean, super close attention, you can see where they stopped the frame. She sat down in the same pose that the claymation's in. Movie starts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really focus on it, but it's perfect. It's seamless. It's beautifully done.
Yeah.
It's such a I love that moment because it's like a magic trick. A lot of movies replicate that kind of magical feeling it does afterwards, like the whole like carrying it out of animation, putting it in. Movies really started replicating that later because it's a fun thing to do. But it's just, there's something to be said by just how good it is. Just really how good it is. And it's very impressive.
I love this film.
I do too.
It captures everything that, like the magic of movies for me. Like, for like a more modern film, it would be like Star Wars. That captures that Hollywood magic. Like, yeah, this is fun. This is what we go to the movies to watch. Like a little bit of escapism, a little fun. But King Kong, this was the original, man. This was like,
You know what I love about the King Kong franchise? I always talk about how I love Godzilla. But I respect King Kong. I love Godzilla. I respect King Kong. Because King Kong didn't change the face of animation and design once. It did it twice.
Yep.
Twice. It did it once in 1933 and again in 2005.
they also had the one in the 70s.
But it was
It was
mediocre. And they were doing things that like Godzilla had already been doing. They were replicating a lot of modern styles. It was like 1973 or 1974, something like that. It was around that time. But in 2005, that movie was astounding.
Oh yeah.
The only problem with that movie,
animated.
the only problem with that movie, one problem with that movie, it's 3 hours and 7 minutes long. Sweet Christ, that movie is long, and it feels it. You feel how long that movie is. But 1933 the movie is just so astounding. Yes, there are criticisms you can make of it now.
So, a lot of sexist things in there.
No, not a lot. Let's be honest here. 90% of the script is sexist. Very sexist. Very racist. But I say to you all, remember, I know it sucks, but this was made in 1933. A different time, different ideology. They didn't know any better. Most people thought this was okay.
Yeah.
Thought this is how the world ran. They didn't know any better. So yes, we can criticize them for not treating people like people, but they didn't see it that way. So it's only fair you understand the cultural relevance of the time.
Yeah. And I'm not one of those people that will hold something like that, like the product of the timeness,
But-
kind of like the zeitgeist against a thing.
I do
because
say
it captures a moment in time.
I do say that yes, the movie does recognize how how sexist it is a little bit. Like at certain points, and you're like, okay, so it's not that they don't recognize that they're not going too far. They are. It's a part of the plot. And like, yeah, that's fair. But a lot of the small things, people are like, whoa. Like I know someone watching me go, whoa. I'm like, yeah, but that's how they talked about at the time. It's wrong, but that's just how it goes.
Or like the whole thing where Jack is like, oh, I don't like having women on my ship. Women are just trouble on a ship. And I'm like, okay, well, you got to remember that there was this
Superstition.
long-lasting superstition
still kind
that
of
having
exists.
a woman on your ship would bring bad luck.
And I hate to say it, it still kind of exists, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm gonna take your word for it.
It's not common, but it's not like superstition of women on a ship is still kind of a thing that happens. It's very upsetting. It's very unfortunate.
But like, the acting in this is, for the most part, 100% phenomenal. Like, you get just so involved in the story.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, the story is, it's simple. It's a really simple story.
It's very straightforward.
But it's kind of got like that Snow White thing where it's driven by emotion what you want to see.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
Snow White is a very simple film. There's not much, it's very bare bones.
Mhm.
But when Snow White falls into the sleeping spell, and you know the dwarves are sad and stuff, like you actually feel sad too.
Mhm.
You know, it's the same thing with this. Now Kong doesn't have any lines, but when he gets shot down, you're like, no, I don't want you to die, buddy.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, the best. It's one of the best lines put in a film
'Twas
was
beauty killed the beast.
"'Twas beauty killed the beast." I'm like, God damn, that's a good line. That's a good line, guys.
Great closing line.
It is. It's such a great line to end on because it's just
And-
emotionally
and
satisfying.
The fact that they kind of touch on the Beauty and the Beast thing earlier on.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
ship,
It's well done.
You know, like the little guys picked off the beasts. Or
And
whatever.
yeah, this movie's story isn't very good by any stretch of the
No,
imagination, but it's smart. It does smart things. The Beauty
It
and the
knows
Beast.
its strengths.
Yeah, the Beauty and the Beast symbolism. They knew what they were doing there, and they're smart by doing it. So I'm like, it's good on them. Good on them for doing it.
Yeah. I mean, what this film is. This paved the way for a lot of the things that we love today. This gave birth to.
This gave birth to Godzilla. This gave birth to all those films. All those.
You know, this inspired the Harryhausens and the Tim Burtons and
Yeah.
the Peter Jacksons. I say this in the commentary, but it really did. Like this film is so
They
important.
go to reenact a lost scene.
Yeah, they make models, they animate it, they
But
get
I don't
people.
think what I'm trying to say, they go out of the way to do it, but they don't just reenact those lost scenes.
They look at the scripts and they look at old films and they look for old models.
They make it look exactly the way it looked.
Yeah.
And there's people. I think it was like Tim Burton was on it, Peter Jackson was on it. All these huge names were on it.
Yeah, like they
just to capture a film from 1933.
like they had a model and you know it was starting to deteriorate and all the plasticine was just kind of like it had already deteriorated and it was just like the foam underneath that was attached to the armature for the like a stegosaurus or something like that. And you know this was an original one used around the time of the making of King Kong. And instead of completely destroying it to figure out how they made this model, they went and I think they got an X-ray of it and then they built the armature using those pictures. I'm like that's devotion.
It is. It is
You know,
devotion.
there's a whole big love for this film, and I can totally get why.
It's very important. It's very, very important. And it's just, yes, as a movie, it doesn't hold up well, but it's so significant and so historically significant for film that it's just nice to see it. It's
And
just
there are
nice to
just
see
so
how it's
many
done.
great moments, like where he breaks open the door. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. The whole train sequence is awesome.
Yeah.
So well done too. You pointed out, I don't say anything, but you pointed out in there that like watching him like hit the train and the bars bend, but he's not there, you know that. But it's done animated so well that it's just so perfectly timed and perfectly
Yeah.
done that it looks like it didn't. Like, oh my god, you believe it, does it? You like people say, oh no, you don't. Like no, you believe it happened. You believe it happened.
Yeah.
It's believable. It's just astounding.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Kong is not real. He is
Obviously.
very clearly a stop motion puppet, but he's given a personality that you buy into it. There's a kind of artificial verisimilitude to this thing.
It's wonderful. It's so wonderful.
I love this film.
It's so wonderful. It's so nice to watch it again. It was so nice to introduce two people to one of the most important films in cinema history.
Oh yeah.
It feels good. It feels good to rewatch that movie. It's been years for me. I haven't watched it since like 13 or 14.
I'm
And it
totally
felt
gonna.
good to sit down and rewatch it.
I'm totally just gonna go back and rewatch the 7-part documentary on the Blu-ray.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna do that tonight.
Well, man, let's get you out to it. Guys, as always, it's been a pleasure doing this. Pleasure being here. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how we're doing. Ask us questions. Ask us your thoughts. Just let us know what you want to know. All right, guys? As always, pleasure to see you. Pleasure to talk to you. We'll see you all next week.
Don't get Smeckledorfed.
What? Another week, another episode of Clutter's Coalition, a Magnesium Studios production.
Prolonged exposure to this podcast may cause the following side effects.
Visiting our website at collectorscoalition.com.
Listening to us on SoundCloud, PodOmatic, and iTunes.
Subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Following us on Twitter at Collect Coalition.
Following us on Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook at Collectors Coalition.
Bouts of extreme depression.
Uncurable, explosive diarrhea.
Not being able to grow up past the mental maturity of a 3-year-old.
But in all seriousness, thank you for listening, and we love you all.
And remember, stay nerdy, my friends.